Jesus had just been speaking to a crowd gathered on the side of the hill, just overlooking the Sea of Galilee. Now we know this teaching as the Sermon on the Mount. Very soon after that meeting, a group of respected Jewish elders came to Jesus and they asked if he would go and heal a Roman soldier's servant. This was rather unusual because the Romans were out of favour with the Jews. However, this leading soldier had connected so well with the people because he related to them and by the way that he treated them. He loved people, and in return, those people responded to him. These Jews who came to Jesus, Luke says, begged him to help the man. If anyone deserved it, this man does, was their cry. You see, he was a good man, someone who had helped the Jewish people and indeed had even built a synagogue for them. This centurion, called that because he was in charge of 100 soldiers, was a top fellow, one of the best. And yet this situation regarding his trusted servant who was on his deathbed was completely out of his control. He had cared for those whom he was in charge of, and indeed had gone out of his way to demonstrate that he was very much valuing the people around him. Because of this, he was loved by everyone. He was well respected, and because he was so generous and caring, they wanted to give back. I think this says something about attitude and investing in people. This commander is an excellent illustration of what Jesus had just been talking about to his disciples and his followers on the mountain. This man did good deeds toward those who in a way could be described as his enemies. He demonstrated in practical ways all that Jesus had just been saying. Jesus had taught the crowd about what being a disciple is really about, doing good to those who don't like you. This is summarised well in the words of Jesus. Do unto others what you would have others do unto you. We know it as the golden rule. Luke records for us this wonderful example of Jesus' teaching in action. Jesus began to make his way toward the home of the centurion. However, as he was getting closer to the home, the centurion sent other servants to say, Lord, don't come. I'm not worthy of your presence in my home. Rather, just say the word from where you are, and my servant will be healed. Luke goes on to say that Jesus was amazed at the faith that he saw demonstrated in this centurion. This man, who was not a Jew, demonstrated faith in a beautiful and practical way. In fact, Jesus said that he had not seen faith like this in all of Israel. The man's assistants returned home to find the sick man, who was on his deathbed, completely well. Who is this Jesus? Who is this who speaks with such authority and power that demons flee, the dead are raised to life, and the sick are healed? Jesus is the Son of God. John 3:16 reminds us that God so loved the world that he gave his only Son, that whoever believes in him would not perish but have everlasting life. That is good news. But there's more good news that comes from Hebrews 13:8. Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today and forever. He still heals today, and he still saves even now. Today is a great time to speak with him, to bring our struggles and our concerns to the living Lord Jesus, knowing that he hears our prayers and he also answers. We can speak to him with confidence. Have a wonderful week.